Hello, I'm Bhushan Joshi and I shoot tech and travel. Recently, as the pandemic struck and everyone was forced to stay indoors, I thought of going back to the roots of technology. The technology back in the days which changed the entire game and evolved as something more advanced today. Welcome to Vintage Tech Series. Welcome back to my channel and the first video of the Vintage Tech series. So today I have with me a device which literally changed the way we started clicking pictures, and by that I mean a camera. So back in the days when photography itself was a serious business, like getting yourself clicked, you had to search for a photo studio, nearest photo studio, or someone from the friends or the family who actually had a camera with them, and then getting yourself clicked. And yeah, it was again expensive too. This camera entered the Indian market in 1980s when Polaroid cameras were the only one which were ruling the market. Yeah, Polaroid cameras were actually simple but again expensive. But then people wanted something comparatively at a cheaper price. And this camera had everything. Like, it was really simple to use, just a point and shoot mechanism. And also the price was really cheap. It was so cheap that it literally was sold like packet of biscuits in the late 1980s. And this is how it became a hot selling and the most loved camera in every Indian household. Yes, it's the Hotshot 35 which was manufactured by a Mumbai based company named Photophone Limited back in the 1980s. So let's have a look. This is the Hotshot 35 which was manufactured by a Mumbai based Photophone Limited in the early 1980s. The company produced the camera in 110 and 35mm formats as well as flash units and film rolls. Hotshot 35 came in two different variants, one with flash and one without flash. The 110mm offered 24 snaps per cartridge, but this 35mm could shoot 36 to 38 frames. So this is a Hotshot 35, which is a 35mm with the aperture 3.8. So this is the front side. So here it doesn't come with a dedicated on-off button, but instead it has this switch, this one. So what I have to do is I have to just slide it to the left like this, which will open the lens cap here, and also and it will also turn on the camera. So now the camera is turned on and I have just turned it off for the moment. This switch on the right hand side, which you can see, this is to toggle between flash on and flash off. So as I am sliding it down, this will turn the flash on, this is the flash off. On the bottom, these are the ISO settings. So this camera is not like the digital cameras which we use today. The ISO is to be changed as per the film you are using. So right now I have the Kodak film with me, which has a maximum ISO of 400. So I can toggle between 100 to 400. If I try to change the ISO to 1000, that is the last setting here, the camera will shoot the images, but then the images will be overexposed, just like the digital cameras. So on the back side, so here you get a switch to open the camera cover. You have to just slide it down and this will just open the camera cover. So the film will go in this slot, which I'll be showing you later. You have to just place the film, you have to just place one end of the film here and other end goes here. You have to just lock it here. That's it. And you have to just close the lid. Now here you get this viewfinder, this one. So this is the red notification light, meaning whenever you are turning on the camera, this light will go red. And here, if you can see, this is the orange light. So whenever you release the shutter, this light will turn on and then turn off as soon as the shutter is released completely. So if this orange light is turned on continuously after you release the shutter, it's an indication that something is wrong with the camera or the film. Coming on to the top, you have this shutter release button on the top. This is the film drive that shows if the film inside is winding to the scroll. So if this is not moving, then it's an indication that film is stuck somewhere. And this is the counter that displays the number of frames remaining in the roll. So I have a roll of 36 frames. So this number, if you can see here, this is now S because it's empty. So this will go on till 36 And whenever I see the number 36, it's an indication that my roll is over. And this is the rewind button. So once the roll is over, I have to just hold this button. I have to just switch and hold this button. See, the camera is making a noise. So this is the rewind button, and film time, you can see it's moving. So I have to just hold this button until the counter here shows the letter S, meaning that the film has been rewinded into the cartridge and it's ready to be taken out for processing. So this is all about the camera, and it runs on AA batteries, which goes here inside. So this one is actually broken, but yeah, it's still working even after 30 years. Yeah, so this one which I have, this is the Kodak Ultramax, which is written, so here it's mentioned 36 exposes. So 36 exposes meaning this has got 36 frames, and here it's mentioned 400 meaning the ISO of this current film, which I can slide it maximum to 400. So that is the ISO setting which is displayed here. And the best part about this is the expiry date, which is 2021. So it's a new roll. Somehow I have managed to get this. So I'll just show you what this exactly is. So this is the roll, which comes in this small box. So this is the traditional looking roll, film roll. So here it's mentioned 400 ISO 436 exposes Kodak, and this is a 35mm roll. It's mentioned 35mm. So what I have to do is I have to just pull this switch down and I have to open the rear cover. Now this is the film, and this is the place. So this empty place here you can see. So I have to just place this film here and lock it, and this end of the film, okay, this end of the film will go here inside. And this is the film is intact. So this is how you have to install the film. I'll just turn this on and see whether it's working. So this is now turned on. So I'll just click something. Something happened. This is the second. Yes, it's working. So this is how the film works. So back in the days, even before this camera was launched, Polaroid cameras were already in the market being sold at a very hefty price. And when this camera entered the market, it became popular just because of its simplicity. Like, you have to just aim and shoot, that's it. It had nothing fancy, it had no fancy lenses, it had no fancy settings. You have to just press the shutter button and that's it. The only drawback this camera had was the film, which usually had 36 to 38 frames. So you had that limited number of frames in which you could capture images. Like, I have the camera, I know I have only 36 to 38 frames in which I can capture before the film is getting developed. So even if by chance I happen to click a photo which was not supposed to be, that frame was just a waste. Like, you had no option but just to get it developed and pay for it. And this developing process actually took a considerable amount of time. Like, I still remember it used to be 7 days depending on the load the studio has. So once my roll is complete, I just had to hand over the roll to the photo studio, and they used to tell, हाँ 7 दिन के बाद आ जाओ. And as the technology advanced, it slowly came down. The time frame slowly came down to 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. And I still remember of them saying that 1 hour में, 1 घंटे में हमको photo मिल जाएगा. So that was the transition period. At the end of the day, you had to wait for the photos to get developed with a limited time frame. But the thing is, the way this technology changes the market for something better than the previous. So that's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please do hit the like and the subscribe button. Till then, bye bye.